15 years after I left the army, it was the lowest point in my life. It was to the point where I'd actually contemplated taking my own life. But I always remember that moment when it's just you and you're left with your own thoughts. It can be a bit of a scary place sometimes. Organisations like Vector24, they make things, you know, so much more bearable. I don't know where I'd be, to be honest with you.
Hi, my name's Marie Crombie and I'm the Chief Executive of Vector24. So Vector24 supports veterans when they're on a medical pathway for recovery. Our organisation helps them to attend essential medical, whether that be physical, mental health, but also reducing loneliness and isolation, helping them to get back out into the community. The issues that we see is the accessing essential support. A lot of the time people say to us, you're only transport, and we're so much more than transport. You know, our transport is about being bespoke for each individual. It's about understanding what that barrier is that they face. A lot of times people say, but they have a car and they can drive, but while they're physically unwell, or even if it's their mental health, they don't have the capacity. And that's one of the parts for us, is we see that, and what we are looking to do is to be able to help them transition. You know, if they have a 13-week session for mental health, what we want to do is be able to reassure them, offer them that support, and make sure that from the beginning to the end that we're there for them. So our outreach support officers are there to first connect with them, offer them that reassurance, find out what it is that actually is going to be the issue for them. Sometimes it's, you know, just the thought, it's the reassurance saying, this is who I am, this is where we're going, and we understand the other factors that might come into that. You know, the prompting in the morning, you know, that's one of the biggest things, and the day before, reminding them, because sometimes it's easy enough for them to go, I just don't want to go. And if there's nobody there to phone them and to say they'll just not attend. So a part of what we do is making sure that, you know, they know that there's somebody there, checking in on them, ready to help them to go to their appointment.
My name's Raymond Barr, and I joined the military in 1985. I joined as a marine engineer with the Army Maritime Regiment. After about 3 years, I ended up getting medically downgraded and transferred as a professional photographer for the Army. And left in 1997, 98. After a life-changing injury to my arm, kind of got diagnosed with PTSD.
So tell me about Vector24. How important have they been on your journey?
In the last year and a half, it's been great to have the support of them. Having the driver pick you up and having the chat on the way up, it's just a way of unloading, having someone there to listen and chat with. It provides kind of mental support to the veterans. It's a big help having someone to talk to. You can see it helps us all.
My name is Niall Hunter. I was in the Royal Corps of Signals between 1986 and 1993. I was a radio operator in the Army. I'm glad I went into the Army. It was an experience that left me with a lot of trauma. In the end. For the first 15 years, I wasn't getting any help. I was suffering, even though it was on my Army medical records, unbeknown to me, that I was showing signs of post-traumatic stress disorder. My sight was beginning to go, and a couple of years ago I was registered blind. I suppose, in a sense, I have a great family base. I've got people that support me. That really, really helps.
One of the things I hear with people who suffer with PTSD is the fear of isolation, I guess. And that must be exacerbated in your case because, of course, you've not only isolated with your PTSD, you're isolated because of your sight. So having that support must be invaluable to you.
It really is. I know several people that use Vector24. From the moment we get picked up, but it's mainly Mike that picks me up. And Mike's become part of my life, I suppose. You know, we have a conversation in the car. It's not all about vision. It's not all about mundane appointments or, you know, how you manage and stuff like that. It's just everyday chat. And that's really important. The social aspect is hugely important. They make things, you know, so much more bearable.
I'm proud of my team. I'm proud that they've embraced the change. We are going through rebranding, and we have went and introduced a new model. Two of my drivers were taxi drivers, that was their trade, and they have embedded everything welfare. They are mental health first aid trained, they've done their assist, which is suicide prevention. Any training that we can give them to help them to be able to build their skills to support our service users. I would like us to be sustainable and to have funding that's not challenging. You know, it's a really difficult position that every charity's in at the moment, but we realise that without us being here, you know, how many people would just not end up in recovery. Every time we put an application in and we look for a grant is because we're seeing that there's a need out there, and all we ever want to do is to be able to support